Most creatives don't fail because they're not talented enough. They fail because they burn out, lose clarity, and eventually disconnect from the reason they started. And I've been there too. But if you master the 4 pillars of creative success I share in this video, you and your creativity will become unstoppable. So let's get started. So the first pillar of creative success is inner direction, knowing why you create and where you're going. Because without this, all your work can feel like you're running in circles. You are always busy, always creating, but never feel like you're really moving forward. And clarity of vision isn't just a goal, a random goal that you have. It's really about understanding the reason behind your work, the impact you want to have, and the difference you want to make. Because when you have that clarity, everything else becomes way easier. Decisions come faster, your focus is sharper, and you move forward with so much confidence instead of doubt. And for example, me, I discovered one of my true purposes with this YouTube channel. Because initially, I started this YouTube channel to help 3 friends get into fashion school and then get jobs into big fashion houses just like I had. Some people started watching my videos and asking me a lot of questions. So naturally, I continued doing my videos, first about fashion, then business, then my own journey and on, creativity in general. And over time, this naturally led to me helping people one on one. But a couple of months ago, it clicked. I realized what one of my life mission truly is, which is to help as many creative people as I possibly can, help them build their big creative project. And the key thing here is that I found it through doing, experimenting, taking action, not waiting or, hoping that it would just come out of, thin air. And everything I do now with this channel is connected to that mission. So if you don't know yet your purpose, experiment as much as possible because every action leads to the next action, which leads to results, which eventually guide you toward your purpose. So say yes to opportunities, try new things, explore new ideas. But then once you find your purpose, this is when you start to say no. No to everything that is not related to that purpose, to that goal, to that vision of yours. So if you want more insights, tips, and lessons to help you thrive as a creative, subscribe to my email list in the first link in the description. I share what works, what helps creatives succeed, and lessons I wish I knew when I started. And everything in the newsletter are things I don't share anywhere else. So the second pillar of creative success is creative structure. As creatives, we naturally have ideas all the time, which is, great, it's our superpower, but at the same time it can be super overwhelming. We have all sort of ideas coming through our mind all the time, and we oftentimes don't know which one to prioritize, which one to start with, which one deserves our focus first. It's not that we don't have ideas like most people today, is that we have too many. And without a clear structure, all those ideas can feel super overwhelming and all over the place in our mind. And that's why creatives like you and me, we need structures, we need systems. And before you get scared because I see you coming, structure doesn't limit your creativity and organize it, protects it in order to enhance it. Structure boxes your creativity in a way that makes it manageable. It helps you prioritize, organize, and take action on your best ideas. Because ideas alone, they aren't enough. You can have as many ideas as possible. You can be as creative as possible, but ideas alone don't mean anything. They're just stuck here because without a system to support them, your ideas get lost and they never get executed. And I learned this lesson while I was at IFM in Paris. And there I was forced into structures and frameworks from, presentations to projects. Everything was structured. Everything was organized. Everything was a framework. Honestly, if I hadn't been forced to do it, I probably never would have done it. But having structure, having system and frameworks really, completely changed the way I work. It really taught me how to organize my creativity, how to plan it, track it, and turn it, into consistent output. Basically, you can see a framework as a list of tasks or steps you need to follow to achieve a goal. That's it. For example, the framework for a presentation could look like this. You start by introducing the main idea. Then you share the context or the why, followed by your key points and arguments. And finally, you close with conclusion or a takeaway. And that's it. A simple and repeatable structure that makes sure your ideas flow logically and you don't lose track of what matters. And now years later, I still continue to use frameworks in everything I do. So the lesson here is protect your creativity by building systems that support it. Because when you do this, execution becomes easier and your creativity can actually scale. So the third pillar of creative success is energy management. As a creative, your energy is everything. It's what fuels your ideas, your focus, and your ability to execute them. But most creatives don't manage their energy, they spend it. As creatives, we go through intense bursts of inspiration, working late nights, skipping rest, obsessing over details, and then, crash out completely. People call it burnout, but it's just poor energy management. That's it. The truth is creativity doesn't come from, forcing yourself. It comes from rhythm, from flow, knowing when to push and when to pause. Managing your energy is about creating that rhythm. It's about protecting your mind, your focus, and your emotional state so you can stay consistent long term. And for me, energy management comes down to three main elements: creative rhythm, protecting your inputs, and keeping your body and mind aligned. So the first element is creative rhythm. So the first thing you need to do is you need to learn your natural cycles. For me, I know that I'm way more creative and productive early in the morning than, in late afternoon or at night. And also understand that you have some days where you're not going to be productive or creative, and that's okay. The goal isn't to be productive every single day. The goal is to stay in motion without burning out. That's it. So take intentional breaks, stay away from projects sometimes, and go for a walk, because we are often most creatives when we are doing something completely unrelated to our creative work. And that's when the best ideas come. The second element is to protect your inputs. You need to understand that your energy is shaped by what you let in, what you watch, what you listen to, who you spend your time with. And everything you consume either fuels you or drains you. And sometimes you don't even realize it. So you need to protect it. So say no to anything that is not aligned with your main vision, with your main goal. And the third element is keeping your body and your mind aligned. Because creativity is physical. And if you don't take care of your body, your sleep, your nutrition, your movement, you cannot expect your mind to perform, because your brain is a part of your body. And when one is off, the other follows. And I used to think that, working harder was the answer. And now I realize that sometimes it's not about intensity, it's about sustainability. But don't get me wrong, sometimes you need to go intense hard, because the people who build amazing things, amazing creative things, really understood this concept that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and you need to learn to pace yourself to be able to run that marathon. So remember, for this pillar, energy management isn't self-care, it's strategy. It's what allows you to stay, creative, inspired, and sharp without losing, yourself in the process. Because when you manage your energy well, everything falls into place. Your clarity improves, your systems work better, and your creativity flows naturally. So protect your energy like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. The final pillar of creative success is leverage. At some point, it's not about doing more. It's about doing things better. And that's when you start using leverage to protect your creativity. Leverage means freeing your creativity from everything that isn't creative. Because as creatives, we always want to do it all. We create, we design, we edit, we post, we whatever. We want to do it all. Because the truth is, the more time you spend on managing your creativity, you have less time to actually be creative, to create. And that's where leverage comes in. Leverage is what allows us to build system and use, smart tools that take care, of the repetitive mechanical parts of the process, so we can stay focused on only creating. And we live in a time where we can do this. We have AI, we have automations, we have templates, we have systems, we have, frameworks, and they're not replacing creativity, they're protecting it. But they give you time, energy, and mental space to let you do what you actually want to do, which is create, which is imagine, design, create. For example, you can use AI to, generate first drafts, or brainstorm ideas, or even summarize, your notes. So you can spend your best energy refining and adding your, unique voice into your project, or your creative project. So your creative work moves forward, even when you're not, manually pushing it. Because the real goal isn't to do everything yourself. It's to create an environment where your creativity becomes effortless, where your ideas flow freely, because the structure around you takes care of everything else. And when you build that kind of leverage around your creativity, you stop feeling overwhelmed and thinking that you have to do everything. So the lesson here is simple. Use every tool, every system, and every piece of leverage available to protect your creative energy. And that's really what creative leverage is all about. Not doing more, but doing better, creating better. Not replacing your creativity, but amplifying it. So to conclude, if you apply those four pillars: direction, structure, energy, and leverage, your creativity won't just grow, it will compound. And in a few months, you'll look back and realize how much you've actually built, how much you've actually created, and how natural it will all feel. Because creativity isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters in a way that lasts. So start small, pick one pillar, apply it this week, and watch how everything begins to shift. And don't forget to subscribe to my email list, where I share tips, insights, and lessons to help creatives like you thrive, all drawn from my personal experiences and things I don't share anywhere else.